Yeah, you can say that again.
Stand by, please. 3, 2, 1. We have speed.
Okay. Mel, I was reading about you in GQ magazine. I'm sure you've heard a lot of people reading about you. But when you're preparing for an interview, and one of the first things you read is, Mel Gibson is one tricky, complicated guy that scares you to death. I think you scared the writer of that article.
I did?
Yeah, I think you did.
I didn't mean to. I liked her. I thought she was great.
Do you think you intimidate some people, though, because you do look intense on camera a lot in the roles you've played?
Oh, I think perhaps physically, but I think once you start to jaw with me a bit, I certainly don't try to intimidate.
But you're really kind of an Australian farmer with a house full of kids, right?
Basically. Sounds pretty droll, doesn't it? No, it's great.
You do have a lot of children, right?
Yeah.
You have 4, and 2 are twins? I mean, two twins?
Yeah.
I guess 1, and then 2 twins, and then 1, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of children in 6 years of marriage there.
Yeah. Oh, this has kept us very busy. But, you know, it keeps you out of trouble, keeping busy.
What does the oldest child think of Daddy as a movie star?
Well, she's starting to just cotton on to it. She's 6 years old. She's starting to figure it out now, that what I do, and judging by people's reaction, and why are those people staring at Dad, and why. But up till then, she thought that everyone's father was on television as far as she was concerned.
That's right.
I don't know how that affects her. I think she's pretty good, you know.
Do you think she sees it as 2 different people, Daddy at home, and this doesn't look like Daddy that I see on television?
No, I don't think so, and I don't think I should put it across that way either. I think that it's my job, and she knows that. She's pretty clever. She understands that. So, best thing is, like, I mean, you hear a lot of stories about children of famous people getting really messed up in their heads for some reason. I don't see why that should have to happen, and it's usually the fault of the parent if that happens. So just take care of it.
This movie's a very physical film. Were you ever hurt, even just a little bit?
Yeah, you get skinned, you know, elbows and bruised knees and the odd cut or sprain, and I can't tell you how many times I had the chiropractor there. But just little things, you know, little injuries, nothing that was debilitating.
Do you ever worry about becoming seriously injured? I'm sure the insurance companies worry about it more than you do, maybe.
They do, yeah. They worry about it.
But there's some scenes in this movie that are pretty tense and pretty dangerous, I think.
Not really. Because of that reason, I mean, the insurance, they want to finish their film. They have a large investment in it. They're not really going to stick me in a situation where I'm going to be in any terrific danger. I do a certain amount of things. I enjoy doing it, but it's very well supervised, and everyone's acquainted with the problems, and they just weigh up the odds and they decide, you know, whether I should participate in this or not. And myself too. I mean, if it looks too hairy, I'm not going to do it, you know.
Do you have a professional game plan, or is this every role has just kind of happened? Do you know where you want to go, say 5 years from now or 10 years from now?
Well, I think in a general way, I just want to be very good at what I do and to get better at it. And hopefully that's what's happening. And specific plans, no. I've never done that.
How objective you say? How do you know if you're good or not? Do you just know whether you feel like it was good, or whether people say you're good?
Well, you have to sort of be objective with yourself, yes, aware of yourself, because you are the instrument that you're playing, and you use yourself in that way. Some people would argue that it's prostitution, but you do need an objective eye also of a director or an audience. I mean, you need an audience. I like to present things to an audience. I mean, that's my thing.
Are you comfortable watching yourself up there on the screen?
I am.
You are?
Yes.
That's kind of unusual. A lot of actors are not very comfortable seeing themselves up there.
Well,
too picky. You know, they see little things they want to change.
Yes, well, I see that too, see, but it's no use losing any sleep over it. But you must take notice of those things. I mean, I'll use that knowledge that I don't like that, or to maybe eradicate or change or, you know, adapt something. But there's no point in ever whinging about it too much.
What kind of state are you in, physically and mentally, when a film is over with? It's obviously a very tense couple of weeks or months in making a film. How do you wind down from that process?
Well, it's a bit like cold turkey. I mean, there's no way out. You're finished. And it's a relief sometimes, a blessed relief, to go and do something different. It's refreshing. You can enjoy that. And there's a certain sadness in sort of parting company. It's always nice to come back together again, like we are now. It's good to see all these people again.
I understand you travel with your family a great deal.
Yeah.
When you play these intense roles like you did in Lethal Weapon, do you ever carry the character home with you?
No. No. I'd hate to do that. Imagine going home and shooting my wife. No, I have a problem with that at all.
If you've had to be depressed all day at work because of the scene you're doing, you can shake it the minute you get in the car going home?
If I am depressed, well, I go home very happy. If I did what I was supposed to do well, if I think I did, in my own opinion. If I felt satisfied with it, I go home different. I'm not depressed. If I don't do so well, maybe I'm a bit depressed. But it's not a difficult thing. The division there is not difficult for me.
So you don't wear your goods home, then, in other words?
No.
How did you get the acting bug? Did you just go up on stage one time and you liked the idea of people looking at you and clapping? And
oh, yes.
kind of
You know, it's a frightening, daunting sort of... The first time I was ever on stage, and it was a terrifying experience. I was nervous and learned my lines, which I don't do anymore. So you don't need to do that. But I went out onto the stage and my knees simply would not support me. They wouldn't. And I began to sweat and I was out of control. And it never happened to me again. It just got progressively easier. But I'll never forget that, and that's what sold me. I loved it. I was just totally taken over by it. It was out of control. It was...
you liked the idea that something could shake you that badly?
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
kind
Oh, it was great. Yeah. But then getting on top of it, you know,
That's good.
and using what was there and channeling it so that the energy just wasn't sporadically, just... It was all over. I couldn't remember what I was supposed to say, and I had to sit down and do the scene because I couldn't stand up.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, thank you a lot. This is a great, great movie. I love it.
Oh, good.
You play a good crazy man.
Yeah, terrific.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Look at that. All right, I'm going to have you sign me cover there.
Okay.